Hey guys, welcome to this video on creating and using a custom controller in Salesforce. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to click Setup, and then in the search box up here, we're just going to type in Visual Force, and then you see Visual Force Pages link comes up. Click that there. What we're going to do is create a new Visual Force page. So I'm going to call this Visual Force page Contacts List. Okay. And you can see that it comes with some custom code here. Let's go ahead and do quick save and then preview. So we see we get our congratulations. This is your new page with the code that was already there. And we're just going to get rid of all of that. So save that. And then let's preview this. So we should get nothing. So this is just empty now, just like we want. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create our controller. So we could do that just by typing controller here and setting it equal to the name of our controller, which is the name of the Apex class that we either already have created or well, you'll see if we don't have it created what'll happen. So right now I don't have that Apex class created that we're going to create, and I'm going to call it ContextList Controller. So our controller, of course, again is an Apex class, and I do not have a Apex class called ContextList Controller. So let's see what happens when I try to save this. You'll see that we'll get an error message. So here it says error, Apex class contact list controller does not exist. But it gives us two options to fix this problem. So I'm going to pick the second option, create Apex class, public class, context list controller. And so now this is saved and we now have a controller called context list controller. So perfect. Let's do some more things with our Visual Force page for right now. Let's create another tag, Apex tag. And this time I want a form. Okay, and also want the closing tag. So Apex or /Apex form, and that should be it. Okay, and now within here, we want a page block. So just type Apex colon and then page block. Perfect. And oops. Then inside here, I'm just going to put a comment and say that our contacts list will go here. So we're going to put a list of contacts in our Visual Force page using the controller, context list controller. Okay, something else I want to do, let's create a title for our Visual Force page. So I'll call it context list. Okay, and that should be good enough. Do a quick save here, preview. It shouldn't be anything. We shouldn't see anything in the, oh, I'm sorry, we should see the title, but we should see nothing here outside of the title there. So we get our context list. Let's get out of here. So again, nothing's there. There's no list yet, but that's what we're going to create in our controller right now. So what we can do, we can go to our developer console and we can open up our Apex classes. So our Apex class is called Context List Controller. So I can just go there, I can open it up, and you can see that it's empty. There's nothing in there. Another way, if you don't have this enabled, you can just go to the search here, type in Apex, go to Apex classes, and then go to Context List Controller, click Edit, and it's the same thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to create a variable in our class. So it's going to be a private variable, and it's going to have the data type of string, and I'm going to call it sort order, because what we want to send to the Visual Force page is a sorted list of our contacts. Okay, and so this is, of course, is going to be a string, and the string name will be last name. So that way we can sort by last name. And maybe if we want to change the sort order later, we just have to change this variable within the query that I plan on creating. So now let's create a method in our controller, and it's going to be a public method, and it's going to return a list of contacts, and the method is going to be called get contacts. So this is a getter method or function. So when we call this in Visual Force, we're not going to call get contacts, we're just going to call contacts. Okay, so we have to return a list of contacts. So let's create a variable. It's going to be a list of contacts, and we're going to call it results. So I'm going to set results equal to, of course, the list of contacts. So we have to do a query. So we have to query out of Salesforce, out of the contacts object, to get this list. And we could do that using the database dot query method, which takes in a string and then performs the query for us. So the query I'm going to write is select, perfect. Okay, ID, we're going to select the first name, the last name, the title. So these are all fields on the contact object. Email, from contact. Okay, I'm running out of room here. So you know what I do is I just put the plus sign here and go down here. So this plus sign will concatenate the string for us. And actually, I will put the plus sign here as well. So that way it looks more, I don't know, it just looks a little bit better. So from contact plus order by plus sort order. So that's going to be our last name, right? We're just concatenating another string. We're concatenating last name. And we want this in ascending order, so ASC plus. Now, I don't want all of them, so we're just going to limit it to 10 rows. And that should be good enough. So this should return 10 rows of contacts, and it should return the ID, the first name, the last name, the title, and the email. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to return the results, and then save this. Let's see, contacts at line 6, column 27. Public list. I put contacts, and it's actually just contact. So quick save here, and let me make sure I didn't do that for this. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's go back to our Visual Force page. And we called it contact list. So edit that. Okay, now it's time for us to actually put in this list for our contacts. So we could do that by using the apex tag called column. And no, I'm sorry. What we want is a page block table. So then we're going to use column. So apex page block table. Perfect. And now within this table, we want our columns, right? So apex colon column, and then we need to set our value equal to some string, and that should be it. So in our apex class, we're returning the ID, the first name, the last name, and the email, and the title. So I'm just going to show maybe 4 fields. So the fields are going to go in these quotations here. Now, before we actually do that, we need to call our method. So we could do that by saying value equals, and we use the left bracket, exclamation mark, and then context. Now, context again is the method that we had created in the Visual Force page. So it was called get context in the method, and here we're calling it just by context. So we just got rid of the get portion of the method when we're calling it here. Okay, and then quotation. It's kind of funky syntax. And they're going to create a variable and set it equal to CT. So CT will be our variable. So now we can call this list through CT, right? So again, the same way that we call the method is similar how we call this CT variable. So I'm going to do the left parentheses or left bracket. Yeah, it's not parentheses, these are brackets. So left bracket, exclamation mark, CT dot first name. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this. Maybe make it a little bit faster. Just gonna paste it in here. And instead of first name, I want last name. I want the title. And I want the email. Okay, so let's do a quick save here. Everything looks good. Let's preview it and let's see if we get that list. Okay, so let's see. System query exception, unexpected token by last name, ASC limit. Okay, so there seems to be something wrong with my controller in the get context function line 8. So let's go back to that controller. And it's called ContextList Controller. And so probably what's the problem is there's no space here and there's no space here. So let's save that. Let's go back to the Visual Force page and go to our context list and let's preview it now. Let's see. Now unexpected token by. Okay, so let's go back to our Apex page. This is good that I'm getting these error messages so you guys can see how to solve them. So we're going to go to context list controller, edit by. So let's see. Here we need a from context, we need a space here. And a space here. And then a space here. And let's try it one more time. So go back to our Visual Force page. Go to context list, edit, preview. And there we go. That's beautiful. So now we have our context list. And if you guys were confused about what was going on, basically the strings were being concatenated together, so they just looked like one word. and I need to split up those words in the Apex class. So here's our list. Looks pretty awesome in Visual Force. We have our title. So that's basically it. Thanks guys. I hope you enjoyed this video on making a controller. I hope it wasn't too confusing. I am glad that we got some of those error messages so that I can help clear it up. But be sure to leave likes and comments, any questions you have. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, and I see you all in the next video.